My name is Quentin Sankofa. I'm the programs coordinator for Mandela Marketplace, which is a nonprofit small business and community leadership incubator. We're a 501c3 nonprofit, a mission to provide civic, entrepreneurial, and economic opportunity to low-income people and minority farmers.
And I'm Dana Harvey. I'm the executive director of Mandela Marketplace.
What is the approach that the Mandela Marketplace has adopted to achieve your mission?
That's a great question. To achieve our mission, we've adopted a unique strategy built on supporting small farmers within about 100 to 200 mile radius of our site here in West Oakland. And what that involves is creating an alternative produce distribution network, which looks like this. We have a guy with a cargo van. He goes around and scoops up produce from small farmers. He brings that produce back to West Oakland, to our storage facility. And from there it gets distributed to a couple of different places. Mainly it goes to our Cooperative grocery store, but it also goes to corner stores, because we're very interested in working with corner stores in West Oakland, because a lot of folks who are in our community shop at corner stores. In fact, there are something like 43 corner stores in West Oakland, and that's where a lot of people rely on for food. And a lot of those places don't sell what we consider to be food. They sell a lot of processed things, a lot of things that contain a whole bunch of sugar, fructose corn syrup, a whole bunch of fats and things like this. So in addition to the corner stores, the fruits and vegetables that we...
These linkages that we're really looking at, so alleviating poverty was very important to us, and building assets for people in a community who otherwise don't have access to asset building opportunities. So with us and getting the grocery store open, Mandela Marketplace as a nonprofit played a key role in accessing money and political support, and kind of raising the voice of a community that doesn't otherwise have a voice, so that they can access resources. So the grocery store is a worker-owned cooperative, and we did that because we wanted the people who work in the store to really be entrepreneurs, so that they begin to have a political voice. And then realized we really wanted to support, and this came from the community. These ideas really came from the community itself. Wanted to support minority farmers who face similar challenges, who face racism, who face cultural barriers, who don't have access to money, who don't want the government coming on their property a lot and paying high fees for a lot of certifications. So really reaching out to rural communities that face similar challenges that the inner city community face, and linking those two communities together, and how do we support each other. For farming, the urban center is a big part of their market, so it's our responsibility to develop those markets to support small farmers, so that we don't lose our small farmers at the rate that we're losing them now. And then add on to that the idea of really supporting minority or disenfranchised people. And the corner stores as well, and as Quentin mentioned, there's many corner stores in West Oakland, but there's a lot of people with mobility challenges. There's homeless people, there's seniors, there's people who need to walk to their store. Our public transportation is not very efficient and effective. So to get from where we are now to the grocery store that is about 3 miles away takes over 2 hours in bus rides, and takes 2 or 3 connecting buses. So it's very inefficient to get to kind of larger shopping venues. So starting to partner, looking at Mandela Foods Co-op as a grocery store, and not look at the corner stores as competitors, but look at them as partners to Mandela Foods. And how are we partnering them? Through our produce distribution, which is also centralized, it's local, and even though it's run as a project of Mandela Marketplace, we are planning to spin it off as another cooperatively owned business for someone in the community. So, in that way, we're building that system. So as we now could expand Mandela Foods, for example, into a bigger store so that they can have more worker owners and sell more food, that's going to support expanding the produce distribution center, because that'll increase the volume that we're going to be purchasing from the farmers. And then if we help another community open a grocery store and they purchase the produce from us, that will uplift the produce distribution as well. So that's kind of how as one does well, the other one does well. And that's how our systems model kind of holds each component up. As one grows, the other does too. And then likewise, if the produce distribution failed or we stopped doing it, that wouldn't make the store close, because there's other avenues for produce distribution. It's just that we may not be able to reach the population of farmers to help them build assets in the way that we would like to. But it wouldn't necessarily stop the corner store, the grocery store. So that's kind of how I think describing it in a systems view works. I don't know a model of a worker cooperative enterprise network that is based on retail. So there is Mondragon, which is based on manufacturing. There's Evergreen, which is a little more industrial-based, light industry. So, you know, to see if this can work with a retail foundation is going to be very interesting. Or, you know, partnering with other, like bringing Evergreen to Oakland, you know, and having us cooperate together, you know, so that we have a collective of more than just a retail base, could then strengthen that locally.
Okay, so coming up on the 1-year anniversary of Mandela Foods, what do you think you would want to do differently? What do you think you would want to replicate in other communities if you had the chance?
Can I speak on replication?
Please.
You can speak on doing it differently.
Okay, so.
So just as a disclaimer, I'm new, sort of. I wasn't around, but I know the history from, you know, talking and listening to Dana and other folks. And I think the thing that's nearest and dearest to me is the community engagement process. That comes number one. When they took on this project, it was from the community. It was what did they want? It started off with a survey, an environmental survey, right? Mm-hmm. And they identified some problem areas, and the community kind of rallied around some of the food access issues, and then conveyed to Dana and some other folks about the problems that they were facing and how they wanted to work on those issues. And so that kind of led to this system. So they identified the need to work on corner stores. They identified the need to have community-owned businesses. They identified the need to have a grocery store. They identified the need to have more open space. And also they identified the need for a farmer's market. And so the folks that were organized around this kind of took that as their building blocks to start some of these things. And so Mandela Marketplace has now brought into fruition several of those, working with the corner stores, community-owned businesses, farmers market, and a grocery store. And so we still have to tackle open space, but you know, there's plenty of time for that. But I think what needs to be replicated, and what will be replicated if we're involved in the process, is the community engagement piece. I come from an urban planning and community development background. That's what I was taught undergrad and graduate school. But my philosophy has always been that it has to come from the people who are faced with the challenges, because they know best what their needs are and how to go about solving it. Not just what they, because a lot of the times planners get caught up in just using the community to identify needs and not solutions. So it's like, oh yeah, just tell us what you need, and that's like placation. You know, that's okay, we'll listen to what you have to say, yeah. But at the end of the day, I'm a planner, I work with the city, and we're gonna use some business folks to solve that problem. And so, and that's how you get things like a Safeway into a neighborhood, right? Because the community will say, you know, we have a big food access problem. And the community will also tell you the way to solve that is to put us to work making food. Mm-hmm. You know, right. Give us some land and we'll grow food and we'll sell it. That's what the community will say. Now, the traditional mechanisms will say, yeah, you got a food access problem. Oh, yeah, let's get Safeway in here. We got a big tax subsidy for them. We got some land that they can take. Mm-hmm. But see, that's the thing that was different about Mandela Foods. They listened to the need and the solution. And the community said, we need community-owned businesses. It wasn't just about we need something in the neighborhood. We just need stuff. we know we have issues and we just need some things to happen. No, they were very clear. We want to be a part of this process. We want to be the ones owning these businesses and participating in the retail side too.